simple life wasn't for me. This old town is too small for my dreams, so I packed my bags.
Lazer Robinson was my best memory. Man, when I came out there on that stage with that shopping cart, I was like, these people out here. And then I had the band playing live. I was like, oh!
My best memory from Freedom probably was like the opening night. We did a show at the Robinson Center, the Robinson Center Music Hall, and it was our first like big performance. I think like we had like hundreds in the crowds, and I had invited a lot of people to come see me because that was my first time actually doing a play since like my adolescence really, and so. That was just a real good memory from everything we had did. Like I can remember like the going through the play, you know, saying earlier that day, going through just dress rehearsals and stuff like that. Just the energy, the intensity of the moment. I remember messing up on stage. I remember like, you know, saying performing and everything. It was just real cool, man. It was my first time doing it, and then we had an after party afterwards, so it was just real cool, and just all the bloopers from the night. The roses I got, candy bouquet I got from Secret Admirers. It was real nice, you know what I'm saying? And just putting on the production that big in Little Rock, and then coming back to work next week and going to different places and people remember me from that night. Like, you with Jimmy on stage, you was rapping. I was like, yeah. So it kind of brought my notoriety up in the city a little bit.
I'm standing on the verge of change. Have no fear. I'm looking for a change.
When I got to Conway and I was just behind stage, just watching everyone else doing their part, and I was so anxious to get ready to do my part.
Call you when I get there.
When did you become involved with Freedom? What performance?
You know, I don't really remember that year.
It was like 06.
It was 06? Okay, then, man, okay. I was involved in Freedom 2006. I met Jennifer Davis, AKA Coffee. I met her in 2006 at Medium's Art Gallery. She told me about a role that she thought I might have a good fit, you know what I'm saying, for being my personality and my life experiences. And I auditioned for the role. Luckily, I got it. And
I saw one of Coffee's plays in Conway at UCA, and I fell in love with the script. I was like, wow, you know, she's very talented. I gotta get a part of this play. So I found her on Facebook.com, and we went from there, and it was history.
I've been a part of Freedom since 2006, and it's one of the best projects in which I've joined, and I'm dedicated to it, and I honestly believe that Freedom could tour all over America and abroad, and actually everyone would get the message, because it's a universal message. And then not only getting the message, but it can be life-changing for individuals. So I don't think that there are no boundaries on Freedom.
Everything in my lane.
we'll be next week featuring. Got the It's Just Bobby dropping, man. It's only $5, so make sure you check him out. Also, a very dope poet coming from Memphis, man. Arthur Poet, performer, actor. 2006, I was involved in Freedom. I auditioned when I met what you want me to call you, Coffee?
No, man.
Alright. I auditioned when I met Coffee. You know what I'm saying? She told me about a role that she felt that I would fit good with. I auditioned for the role of Jimmy. That was one of the, was it 7 characters, I believe? 7? That was one of the 7 main characters for the Freedom play. And I ended up auditioning, got it, and stayed with Freedom for about, 3 years? 2 or 3 years. I played the character, going?
Yeah.
Okay. I played the role that I had was Jimmy. He was a young man who had went down the wrong path in life, got into some trouble with the law, had a criminal background, and so he was a character that was looking to make a change in his life, and so to to stray away from that life, he turned to music and wanted to be like an aspiring hip hop star. And he was just like on the brink of stardom, and so Freedom like catches him right before he's about to make his big move and his big splash on like the entertainment industry. My best performance, we took the play to Miami, and it wasn't. They had a nice size crowd. It was at Fletcher Smith College. We did the full production over at Orlando for one night, and I remember like afterward, besides like the first night, that's like the most positive feedback I had gotten from that performance. We did at Fletcher Smith College, and I remember like people coming up to me and telling me like they had saw me do the play for that, and I really was real good, and they liked the way I sound on stage. And even a few people that came back to my dad and told me how well I did, so that was probably like the best performance, because the first performance was not on point, you know what I'm saying? The boy was stuttering. You gonna call my head big like that? Dang. I made Coffee around about 2004, which is we met at Medium's Art Gallery, you know what I'm saying? She was kind of doing things, this group, Poet Junkies. I remember all of them, you know what I'm saying? It was a tight little spoken word troupe we had around town, and I was just beginning to get out and even just venture onto the live music and the art scene here. So I met her around about 2004. Funny thing about it though, I told her, like 2002 or 2002, I used to see her at Pulaski Tech College. I ain't know her. She was around there walking around with like a little school girl, being all quiet and stuff, walking from class to class, carrying all her books in her hand. She had about 20 books in her hand. You know, she had a backpack on. The 8 strangers in the airport, and everybody's in the airport basically. The airport basically represents the big transition into the next part of their life. Where some of the people are pursuing dreams in music. Some people are finally finding who they are and about to show the world who they are as far as like their life and their lifestyle. Some people are like the lawyers working on his first big cases, and you just got people just that plot is basically set up in the airport, but basically like this is the transition spot to the next phase of their life. And so at the time when I was in Freedom, that was like basically where I was at, because I had got tired of doing a lot of stuff that I had been doing in my past, and I was looking for another outlet to express myself in a positive way. And so I guess you could kind of say that, right, the moment that Freedom was going on was right in the moment that I was in my life, I guess.
I've been set free. It's healing time. The pain is over. It's healing time. I've been made bolder. It's healing time. I can hear.
You know what? My favorite part of the script is when basically anytime like we was on stage all at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe not all of us, but like a lot of the main characters got to play like the extra roles. You know what I'm saying? Like the family reunion scene, that's cool. We got the dance, you know what I'm saying? You got some of the main characters taking in the background, stepping into the background and letting some of the extras take on some of the speaking roles, some of the main roles on stage, and we all on stage together, so we got to clown a little bit more, have a little bit of fun, and I think that's like evident in the footage.
Pour your grace upon me.
And my second favorite role definitely was the strip scene. Man, because the first night, yeah, it went down. strip scenes, all that. It was this chick that came in from out of Texas, and she wasn't acting. You know what I'm saying? she was definitely inspired to do her role to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? And we got some nice little snapshots with her backstage, boy. I'm talking about the performance went backstage too. You know what I'm saying?
Cover me with the blood. Set me aside, seeking you for my supply. Renew me from within and let the healing begin. It's healing time. The pain is over. It's healing time. I've been made. It's healing time. God has set me free, and I'm healed because I believe, and I'm healed. You call it done, and I'm healed. The pain is over, and I'm healed. I've been set free. It's healing time. The pain is over. It's healing time. I've been made bolder. It's healing time.
Okay, you did the makeup and the choreography. How was it to do the makeup and the choreography? How was that experience?
It was amazing because it's like, I guess that's why I felt so happy when I was involved, because of the people I was involved with. Coffee's so professional at what she does, so very organized. It was like a jack of three trades, because I could do makeup, I could do choreography, and I could act. Those are three things that I love. So it was all fun. There was never a dull moment. There was never a time where I felt bored or I felt like I didn't want to do it. So I love everything, and I would do it all over again. That's how much I love it.
Don't you even think I'ma let you leave? I don't want to. Mister, we can watch the
Oh, you ready? Okay, cool. The first night was like, I remember that. That's probably like, you know what I'm saying, the most vivid memory I got, because all the preparation that went into that first one, and the nervousness, the anxiousness of everybody trying to do it. I remember we went to the radio station, and we did an interview. I think it was like Hot 97. Hot 97 we did an interview on with. And just all the preparation and the fundraising for that one. And then actually, like that day, I remember the crazy thing about it was, like, in Freedom, we used a lot of our own like outfits and costumes, something like that. So I went to the mall that day. I was like, I'm Jimmy Jules, I'm gonna be rapping. So I said, I went to the mall, hit up the little mall, the Sunglass Hut over there, got about 3 shades for $49.95, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, and then coming to Robinson, being on stage, and you know what I'm saying, going through the whole dress rehearsal and stand up there like all day, like not leaving. Then I had got me a little secret admirer, send me some backstage, feeling like a celebrity and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? But
Don't underestimate my intelligence. I'm just smart enough to evaluate the relevance of a starch blouse and dress pants. Wading through corporate bullishness.
This was the first stage that we ever performed on. Well, no, not performed on. This was the first stage that we ever practiced on. The first real stage, because at first, you know, we were practicing in the house. But then we lucked up I can't even remember how we got Philander stage. I think Jimmy Cheffin let us in the first time, and the second or third time maybe he let us in, and we started realizing the door was always open as it is today. And also aside from that, he gave me the key, and he forgot that he gave me the key. So I kept the key. As a matter of fact, I still have the key. And it was so funny because nobody in the cast really knew that we were sneaking into Philander. This is Philander Smith University. Nobody in the cast knew at one point. Just me, I think Tasha at the time, and Heidi. We were the only ones that knew that we were like infiltrating the college. So everybody felt like, oh man, we're on such a big level. We can practice at the university. You know, it's an HBCU. In actuality, we were sneaking. So then there was this guy that used to come through here, and he used to always, question us about who let you in here, and we used to come up with fictitious names. I mean, we even crawled in the sound and light thing because it was never open, so we would climb in through the window and stuff and start using the light and sound and stuff. But to make a long story short, eventually it got too hot. I mean, we practiced here probably for like 2 years. Philander always will hold a special place in my heart. Matter of fact, when I make millions, I will come and give Philander some money because they allowed me to use their stage even when they didn't know that they were. And I will always be thankful. Aside from that one black dude that used to follow me around and question me all the time, got on my nerves, but then I came here to help a fashion designer one time, and the dude had the nerve to ask me to help like I work here. It's like he forgot that I actually really don't work here. So they were like, well, just let Jennifer help you. Just let Jennifer, she can show you where the lights are. She can show you where this is at. Like I was part of the staff. And technically, seeing as how they didn't pay me for that, I guess we even. But I was so happy to practice on this stage because it gave me an opportunity to really visualize it, because of course we had absolutely no props whatsoever. So just to be able to visualize it on stage was wonderful. And not to mention that we did about 3 shows here. Now, barely anybody came to those shows, but it did. I can just say that this stage means so much to me because it did allow me to not only put my productions on, to work with the lights and actually learn. This is where I learned how to do lights and sound because one show I paid to do $600 that I didn't have, that we didn't even make off the door to do the lights. So I was like, it's got to be a way for me to do the lights myself. And not just me, but Heidi and anybody else. April, eventually she started learning how to, she came out of the cast and she started learning how to do lights and sound. I even taught my son, and he did it for one show. But this is where, I would like to say that this is where it all started. This is where like the dream started to really manifest. We were able to critique a lot of things that went wrong at the Robinson, and this is home. This is family. This is family. Whether I'm like the unwanted cousin that come and crash the family reunion or not, I love Philander. I love you, Philander. You will always hold a special place in my heart. I promise you I'll make a contribution one day.
It's my ball and chain. My stilettos spin hypnotically under the strobe lights, and they say the way the light hits my face, hell, I look angelic. It's ironic that I feel the opposite. As much as I want, I can't stop it.
This is Reynolds Performance Hall. We're getting ready to enter into the facility. And one of the things I want to point out about this performance, this is the performance where we were celebrities. We were filling out autographs and everything. This was the first time that I think that we felt like we're stars. We got the star treatment, the royal treatment for the first time. So, actually,
this is Reynolds Performance Hall. And this is where we performed Freedom in 2009. We had a great turnout. Everything completely sold out, even though we were using a whole new cast. It was a great experience for everybody. We sold a lot of T-shirts, books, and CDs, and it was just really fun to come here. My name is Kali Watson, and my part in the play was I helped with the lights and all the stuff during the stage. I came in extra scenes as a person for like backup, stuff like that.
One of the funniest moments, man, you know what I'm saying? Like the first, if you ever see like the footage of the first night, like I was the first scene or whatever, it was like I was getting ready to say my first lines on stage, and like I think it was like the count that night was like around like 800 some people first night. And so of course I invited everybody from my job, everybody from all the shows I be at. And I remember as the lights came on stage, because we was all sitting there like froze, first scene, and lights come on, everybody screaming out who name they know on stage at the time, you know what I'm saying? That was just funny, because like you go to a play, you don't see nothing like that. You don't see the audience like, Osiris, Tony, you know what I'm saying? Carl, Kobe. They doing all this stuff right here. And it's like, man, we got to really keep our game face on. So I'm sitting there just like ready for my first night, because I'm coming out in the big splash anyway, you know what I'm saying? And we had these wireless mics that were hooked up to our hip, like the cord was hooked up to our hip, and the mic was like on our clothes, clapped on somewhere. Yeah. As soon as I stand up and say my first lines, the side clip just hit the ground. And I tried to grab it, like before anybody could see it, because it hit the ground. And we was on a wooden stage, so you know, I thought it might have been kind of loud or whatever. And I grabbed it, right as I'm grabbing, I got to say my first line, and I stuttered like, like for real. I was like for real, it was like I had like a mini seizure for a second, man. I couldn't even do it. But then another thing I remember about the first night, you know what I'm saying, like I said, the big crowds, and I remember performing like my first song like in front of a crowd that big was like one of my original songs I had did with my boy Sunjata Salam. But the funniest moment from the first night had to be Mikhail. Mikhail, man, early in the night we had decided it was gonna be a good idea to have a few drinks with the stripper, you know what I'm saying? Backstage, we had like some big ass dressing rooms, so we didn't know what to do but run from everybody's dressing room to the next and just kick it. While Coffee was running with a little chicken with a head cut off, you know, so we was backstage just kicking it. So we had that gin back there with that boy Mikhail. And Mikhail kind of had like a little too much to consume. It was good for the performance because he was really into it, but when he got backstage, he forgot to turn his mic off. And so the first night he backstage, like in the backstage, just straight kicking it, loud as on a whoop, with the mic going on. And somebody had to run downstairs to the dressing room area and tell him like, turn your mic off, because he was cussing, going off loud, and everybody in the audience was hearing him looking like, where's that phantom voice coming from? You know what I'm saying? That's Mikhail, drunk as a skunk, back in the back room, you know what I'm saying? It was hilarious, man, but that first night was cool. And then we had mediums, and I remember, this is another funny part too. I ain't never told Coffee this, but you know what I'm saying? We had went to, I think I had got one of my outfits from like Legends, from like Corliss Williamson store. They had sponsors, some outfits. And man, it was flying. I had me a denim outfit on, man. Denim jacket, denim jeans. I had a Malcolm X shirt. And I had my black Timberlands on, man. Fresh haircut and everything. I had it cut up backstage. It was on, you know what I'm saying? And I was supposed to get my outfit back to Coffee that night. And I was like, hell no, you know what I'm saying? I'm wearing this to the after party. Coffee was blowing my phone, where you at? I was straight up acting like I ain't get a phone call, and I got him like a mug. I had the floss at the after party. I gave it back to her the next day. But I rocked with that night, you know what I'm saying? Man, dude, I have to host the meetings right, man. I didn't even know. I rocked the hell out of this shit on purpose. In meetings. I see, like, you know what I'm saying, I watch Freedom, you know what I'm saying, go from like basically, like born infant child, and it became something like, it basically grew into like, you know what I'm saying, a full grown individual, like, you know what I'm saying. It took a lot of hard work, you know what I'm saying, dedication over the years, but, you know what I'm saying, from our first time that we did it, and, you know, starting off with a cast of like, basically, people outside of maybe a handful of people, we talk about a cast of maybe like 25 to 30 people the first time we did it. Maybe a handful of people who had stage, theater experience and backgrounds to like now where, you know, so you got a lot of respected individuals around town as far as like on the theater and the drama and art scene want to be a part of Freedom, and you know what I'm saying, shoot a movie. I see Freedom going as far as honestly the people that's in it want to take it. It might end up, you know what I'm saying, on the movie screen somewhere. It's already a book, it's already a soundtrack. And so Freedom, I think, pretty much got the ability to travel as far kind of want to take it because, you know what I'm saying, it's definitely a story that I think a lot of people can relate to from all different backgrounds. Just off the simple fact that, you know what I'm saying, we all got dreams, we all got goals, and we all, you know what I'm saying, try to put ourselves in positions where we can reach them as easily as possible. And it's going to be a few bumps in the road, but it's just about how you taking it. And so, basically, freedom itself, it's like a baby of the struggle. You know what I'm saying? All the fights we had, and all the different cast members, and certain people dropping off, and certain people sticking with it all these years. It stood the test of time, and we're talking about it like what 5 years later, and it's still going strong. You know what I'm saying? So. Basically, you know what I'm saying, like, what I basically learned from everything, you know what I'm saying, all these years, you know what I'm saying, during freedom and after freedom, is like, when you're passionate about something, you want to try to reach a certain goal that you have set for yourself, you just got to keep on persevering and keep on going at it no matter, you know what I'm saying, what people say and everything. And so, like, I started out doing freedom, and I mean, really at the time when I was doing freedom, I hadn't really done a lot for myself as an individual, as an artist, you know what I'm saying? That was like one of the first like major things that people like kind of recognized me for. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had the poetry and I had acting and freedom. I remember I would get booked for shows from rapping and just off freedom, and to keep it real and freedom, all I did was one song, so you didn't know if that was all I had. Or, you know what I'm saying, that was just the tip of the iceberg. But I remember like people would book me and be like, man, that's Osiris, man, he like a Renaissance man. He do poetry, he rap, and he act, you know what I'm saying? And so now it's got to the point, man, I done been able to, you know what I'm saying, do some traveling, getting booked in different places. I mean, I've really just been blessed by the Most High to like, you know what I'm saying, to have been able to take advantage of all things that I learned from being on the road with freedom and just opportunities that I got from it. So I say, you know what I'm saying, if you got some goals that you wanna attain out there, you just gotta go at it like you would with any other thing that you wanna, like, whether it be like a degree or starting your family or buying a house, whatever. You got to take your goals serious as an artist, just as serious as you would take those things that you want in your life. You know what I'm saying?